Now, the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Shadrack Sibiya, joins us now on the line for a response on the claim. Daba, good afternoon, and good to have you this afternoon here on the Newsfeed PM. Let's get straight to it, Daba. A briefing has been held and allegations have been raised. Key to these allegations is that a criminal enterprise has infiltrated the entire criminal justice system and is actively working to undermine investigations. You are one of the people cited in this briefing as doing the bidding for the minister in interfering with the work of a political task team that has uncovered a lot of corruption that is happening within the Gauteng area, but also within the political killings themselves. What is your response?
Good afternoon, Thabo, and good afternoon to the listeners at home. It is so unfortunate that we have to engage in an exercise like this that is meant to put the South African Police Service into disrepute. It is really disappointing, and we want to try and manage the damage caused already by not entertaining in the public platform what this man is doing to the South African Police Service. He's causing the South African Police Service, he's putting them, it's a serious disrepute. And we're trying to avoid that as the South African Police Service. But what I want to say is that he's saying what he's saying, and I can tell you that he doesn't know what he's talking about. To start with, the political task team, upon receiving a letter from the National Commissioner, not from the Minister, it is the National Commissioner, Fani Masemola, who wrote me a letter telling me what he wants done and by when, not the Minister. I received a letter from the National Commissioner that says he wants this by this date. Ours was to implement. Secondly, they were requested to, according to the way the National Commissioner instructed, to make sure that those dockets are brought to the detectives since they belong in the detective space. And upon receipt of those dockets, the 121 dockets, remember, all the dockets, they still keep in the dockets that are in court. But there are many dockets that are not actually even political killing task team, that belong in that space, are the dockets that must be investigated by normal detectives within murder and robbery.
Right.
Those dockets were brought in. And not to me. General Mkhwanazi is a lieutenant general, and he met with General Sintumule, who is the divisional commissioner responsible for detectives, not me. I've never sat with anybody to receive any docket from anybody.
So you are saying you did not issue instruction in January, February, and April of this year that all the dockets must be withdrawn from the task team and brought to your office? Are you saying that's completely incorrect?
No. Remember, upon receipt of the instruction, let's say from the minister, in writing, to the National Commissioner, not to me, the minister communicated, rightfully so, to the National Commissioner. The National Commissioner's next level is to me, as a Deputy National Commissioner responsible for detectives, and say, this is your environment, I want this done as per the minister's instruction by this date, from the National Commissioner. Mine is to say to the Divisional Commissioner, this is what needs to happen. So the Divisional Commissioner, together with the political killing team, they worked under General Kumalo, who was just recently arrested. They worked with General Kumalo. They handed over, and there was a handing over process as instructed. This is what must happen. As instructed, to General Sintumule, and she signed for the docket, not me. And those dockets, when she attempted to take them where they belong, in KZN murder and robbery units that exist in the province. General Mkhwanazi said, no, I don't want these dockets in my province. He refused them. There is documents in that regard. He refused them, and as and when he refused them, we had to now say, all right, he's refusing, but up until the next meeting with the minister, in the meantime, something must happen. These matters must be investigated.
So let's talk about that, Ndaba. His refusing clearly to me indicate that there is already a strained relationship in terms of how you are relating to the provincial police commissioner when it comes to this matter.
Not necessarily myself. Remember, this man is defying the minister at all costs.
Why?
It is in his nature. Remember, this man was appointed at some point to act as an acting national commissioner.
It cannot be in his nature. Within the South African Police Service, of course, there is a hierarchy. I mean, there's order, there's discipline. So you can't just snap the police minister because it's just your nature.
Yes, you can't just refuse an instruction from the minister. And he's proud to say, even today, the political task team is not disbanded. That team is still operating because the only person who can give me that instruction is the national commissioner. The national commissioner wrote to me for it to happen.
You met him on Friday. Did you raise this issue again with him?
Met who?
With Mkhwanazi. You said you just met him. You at least had a conversation with him
on Friday. On Friday.
Yes.
We spoke on Friday. He called me.
Right.
And asking me whether I will be coming down to Durban, and we spoke so well. There was nothing like this. I'm so surprised and shocked to hear what Mkhwanazi is saying. You can ask him. We spoke on Friday. He was laughing. We were laughing. We were talking.
There is communication here coming from a police officer. These are police, so these are not random individuals. These are, in fact, top-tier police officers. Mkhwanazi is not a novice when it comes to police work. He's giving us what is called proof of payments of monies that have exchanged hands. He's showing us communication, for example, that includes WhatsApp messages that speak about you having meetings with one Brown Mkhwanazi, and these have got to do with issues that are around procurement as well. So are you denying that this communication exists?
I know it doesn't exist. I'm not involved in that. I'm not even involved in procurement. I don't even know what he's talking about, and I've never participated in any procurement. I don't know the people at procurement. So whatever that he's talking about, he must prove. He must, in fact, give it to you. Where I know about any payment that was effected to anybody, or where I participated. I've never participated in something like that.
The cancellation of the contract by Vusimuzi Matlala, Kat Matlala. I mean,
yes?
What do you know about the cancellation of that contract?
Tabo, I'm a detective. I've got nothing to do with the tender. I've got nothing to do with the cancellation of the tender. I'm nowhere near or involved in anything. I don't know what, if my name exists there, he must show you what he's talking about. I haven't written anything to anybody. Yeah. I haven't cancelled anything. I'm nowhere near that thing.
The communication on the 26th of January, here's what it says. It says, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sent a message to the Minister of Police, Mchunu, which reads as follows. The guy with the funding is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has a 3 billion contract with the SAPS. And then he says, I'm also meeting the DNC. The DNC, we are told, is you here. And the COS, the Chief of Staff, today in Durban to finalize the matter of Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi.
Yes. Now, if two people are communicating, and then you've got, let's say, for instance, you've got 3 points to discuss in a phone. The first one, you talk about the contract based on your discussion and the knowledge of what you're discussing about. The first one, you're talking about the first point that you talk about. The second point is this one, and the third point, I'll be meeting with the DNC on these other things. I'm not sure why. But all I'm saying is that I shouldn't be put in a position to respond to something like that I don't know where it comes from and how it came about.
Okay. Do you know Brown Mkhwanazi? Because this was put to the minister and initially denied his knowledge of this individual on the 5th of March briefing. Do you know him? Have you met him?
I do know Brown. If ever I can tell you, I've met Brown once. What
was the nature of your meeting with Brown?
The nature of our meeting was just inquiring about some investigations. Remember, this person is an activist in Northwest. And they all contact me. I have a lot of contact or discussion with a lot of people throughout the country who calls me in this position that I'm occupying. Yeah. And he was discussing a position that he was discussing.
Yeah. In your own words, you're saying the decision to disband the political killings task team was a decision of the National Police Commissioner. How could Brown Mkhwanazi have that letter in his possession that this was going to happen?
No, I don't know. All I can say is that the discussion with Brown, I know him as Brown. The discussion with Brown and the minister, I'm not involved in it. I don't know about it.
So you have never been given an instruction via the minister to meet with Brown Mkhwanazi or have any dealings with him?
I can't give the minister an instruction. And I can't give...
I'm saying, were you never given instruction by the minister to meet with Brown Mkhwanazi for any purposes whatsoever?
Not at all. Brown has met with many politicians, many people. I don't know whether it's an activist or what, but I'm not close to Brown at all.
The other issue, of course, is the infiltration of the intelligence in the country, where an intelligence document would have been shared, we are told, with a parliamentarian. We are not really given the name of these parliamentarian. That includes information about vetting. I mean, are you aware, are you investigating a matter of that nature where such intelligence product could have been leaked to members of parliament and not via the portfolio committee?
No, I'm not involved and I'm not even aware of that investigation at all. I don't know about it. Even the facts thereof, I don't know.
As things stand right now, I mean, to many in society, is that you are part of a triangle. That includes Brown Mkhwanazi, that includes the minister, that includes this Mr. Nhlanhla, and there's been meetings that have been happening there. But the outcomes of that is that the entire criminal justice system has been infiltrated. How do you clear yourself from those allegations?
Let's say, Thabo, Nhlanhla, I don't know. I met him when he came to my office, but let me say this to you. When Nhlanhla was given or awarded the tender of the South African Police Service May 24, I don't think I was back at the police yet. I found it there. And the people of supply chain, and I'm also not sure whether it is during the National Commissioner, Fanny Masomola's time, but personally, as you know, my role is detectives alone. And when I came in, I was not even a DNC, I was a Major General responsible for organized crime alone. Up until I was then promoted. I don't know at what point did this man get this tender for May 24. I'm not sure. But I can also tell you that the reason why he had to come to my office, I was acting as the National Commissioner in December. He says, I've been given a letter by Public Works to occupy the hospital building at the college since I'm the one providing health services to the department. But I'm being prevented from occupying that building. And now I'm here to understand why can't I occupy that building since I have the letter to occupy that building from those that are responsible to allocate such buildings, which is Public Works.
Right.
Then he then said, yes, he came with a lawyer. And they left correspondence that I had to take to the National Commissioner. I said to them, let us wait for the National Commissioner. And then I'll take it up with him. Because I was just 18. When the National Commissioner came, I went and discussed with him, and the National Commissioner said, Public Works is not going to tell us Public Works is not going to tell us who to give the building to or who to allocate the building to, because we are in charge and this is our building, the police. And I also conveyed the same message that side. So remember that I'm just a detective, but at that point in time I was the acting National Commissioner.
All right.
And that is why these are the things that happens when you are in a position, especially acting in an acting capacity. You can't avoid it.
So let's talk about the detective work then. We mentioned a little bit earlier, 121 cases. You're saying these 121 cases don't all account for political killings, and that's correct. But 112 of those dockets are said to be from the team. 54 are about the political killings, while 22 about parallel issues, and 15 are about ad hoc issues, 16 about the University of Fort Hare, and 5 about the killing of traditional leaders. All these are said to be sitting and gathering dust somewhere at head office, and nothing as far as investigation work has been done on them.
No. No, it's not true, entirely not true. Ask him now where the Fort Hare University method is with the political killing team that he is controlling, and yet is not even in control of it. But the youth dockets are with political killing testing. They are not with us. Remember, these are dockets that are at court. And something to bring to light here, you must know that the same team that he sent of the political killing, that is investigating at the Fort Hare University, they took money from the first suspect, accused number 1, who is in court in Fort Hare. The accused number 1 deposited money into their accounts, and the hotels were paid for them. And this is matter that is being investigated by the DPCI. They must tell you all these things, because they come here and they want to pretend that they are clean. And they took money, and there's evidence in that regard. Money was paid into their account. The clothes were bought for them. So the minister, when he says, we have to disband this thing because a task team is an ad hoc thing. These cases, we have established units that must deal with this type of crimes. Now, we have murder and robbery unit. When murder is being committed, you don't take it from murder and robbery unit where it belongs. You give it to some people that must run with it on a continuous basis. And yet we have a unit that is now no longer doing the work. Now, the minister said, we have murder and robbery units that must deal with this thing. Let these dockets, all of them, go to the respective units that must investigate them. And that the minister did through the National Commissioner. The National Commissioner is the one who implemented. You see?
These general are damning allegations, and they include the minister, they include yourself. We've reached out to the minister. He's not talking at this point. He is going to read this, or at least listen to this briefing. I'm sure get legal advice on it. But it's very clear that as a nation, we need to come to some clarity on what is actually happening in this relationship between the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Police Commissioner, the minister, and your involvement. It's still muddy. It's what the provincial commissioner has said is what you are denying. And of course, you would also be given an opportunity, I suppose, at some stage to present your evidence as to why we should believe your story.
I will do so. Certainly what I ask from all the media teams is to say, can they allow me for the 8 hours to I want to listen to him, put paperwork together to support. Because for an example, he says that there are dockets that are sitting in a safe. I don't have a safe in my office. I've never carried any docket. The docket that he's talking about the drugs and everybody, I don't know who's investigating them. I've never contacted any investigating officer. I've never interrogated or interviewed anybody. I'm not involved. He's talking about a gun. They have a rogue unit they created that they gave two Vianos, or what do you call it, these black kumbis. They went to to kidnap a forensic expert at home at night and force him to open the forensic lab, and then to go take the files, certain files. And they took a firearm that was already tested there, and positively so. There was a positive report that identified that firearm. Instead, they say they took it to KZN again to be retested. But when they get to KZN, they provide a different firearm. Now you understand that we are in a situation, we are in a mess by this so-called task team that is behaving like a rogue unit.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying to you, I'm not involved in any of those things. All of them, I've never questioned anybody. Even those dockets that are saying they are gathering dust, they are not in my office. I don't have dockets in my office.
Yeah.
You can ask. There's a General Sintumula who is the divisional commissioner, who is the one handling these matters, together with a major general who is in her office. These are the people that are dealing with this case. I'm not investigating the cases. I'm not directing them.
But by that assertion, I mean, just listening to you, they're saying there's these things, they've taken money, they were bought clothes, they went and hired a combi, went and abducted somebody illegally from crime intelligence and so on and so forth. That means they were also being investigated. Was there an imminent arrest of the provincial police commissioner? The
one is investigated by DPCI, and then the DPCI, they're in consultation with the NPA. The investigation is at an advanced stage. They are aware. The other one where they went and kidnapped the forensic auditor, the forensic investigator from home to go and open the offices. They seized files. They took their laptop, and then we don't even know what they changed from the laptop. They confiscated a laptop of a forensic expert, and they took it to KZN. Now, that one is being investigated by IPIT. There are 4 cases that I know are being investigated by IPIT against the same team. Now, I can tell you that this is just a private force, a rogue unit that is existing, that is there. They've been running around trying to obtain a warrant of arrest because they're trying to push me out of the system, but because there's nothing that I'm doing wrong. That's why they are not able to get a warrant.
Lieutenant General, I'll ask again, was there an imminent arrest of the KZN provincial commissioner?
I don't know about it. But you can see that he's reacting to something, and he's trying to divert attention from something. His approach and his reaction is worrying. Because I was talking to the man on Friday, why all of a sudden Saturday the man called a press conference and we want to know what is going to happen. The man comes here wearing task force uniform with people carrying guns. This is drama that the police don't need. You are putting the name of the police into disrepute. It's so unnecessary. There's procedures to deal with this thing. There's a national commissioner who must actually deal with this situation. There's also the minister, not to go stand in front of the cameras and then... this is an indirect threat. It can't be allowed to go on like that. This behavior...
What do you mean by an indirect threat?
Why do you need people carrying rifles there and wearing camouflage uniform? It's no longer in task force. He's a provincial commissioner. Why is he wearing that task force uniform?
Are you saying that the provincial police commissioner has gone rogue?
Well, I don't want to say that myself. But I can tell you for sure that that kind of behavior is unacceptable and is uncalled for. It was not necessary. In fact, it should work against him. The national commissioner needs to come out here clean and then query that kind of behavior. It's uncalled for, it's unnecessary, it's lack of discipline. You can't go out there wearing camouflage uniform, having people surrounding you with guns. What are those people doing there? They're supposed to be working, fighting crime there. And if they belong to the task force and they are there, then I don't know what is the task force doing. It's not their mandate to go stand there behind him while he is addressing the media carrying rifles. It's wrong.
Suppose you are not the National Police Commissioner, you are the Deputy National Police Commissioner. Is General Mkhwanazi still fit for purpose in your assessment?
No, after what I heard today, I don't know what to think anymore, because I know South Africans, they are excited that he's killing people down there, and they are just excited. But as far as I'm concerned, the man has been doing a good job in KZN. I'm just worried that why would the man all of a sudden just turn against the police and then just go like that against the minister and talking things on TV. Why can't he do those things internally? Now we are the talk of the town. The whole country is buzzing because of what he said. Twitter, media, everybody wants to talk to me. I'm forced to respond to things that I shouldn't be responding to. And if you don't respond again, it's like now, Mkhwanazi is okay. He's got the data, he's pointing out why are they not responding. I will respond at the right time. I'll go meet with my legal team, but because it's still happening, it's like a wildfire that I must still extinguish myself. But I can tell you, Thabo, this was just carefully planned by certain people sitting in a corner, and he's part of the conspirators.